3 games, 1 boss. Welcome back to the series where we analyze the different variations of LEGO levels. Today, we will be looking at General Grievous and the different versions of the boss battle. So with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. First on the list is the Complete Saga's General Grievous battle, which starts you off with you versus Grievous. The main way to defeat Grievous in this level is to ground pound, as if you didn't know, when you are in mid-air in the Complete Saga, no enemy can actually hit you, meaning that Grievous won't be able to attack you as you are in mid-air, making it a super overpowered method. As you damage Grievous, he will start to throw explosives, which you throw back at him by using the force, and this will help you take damage off him, and with that you'll have completed the first wave of this boss. Now you will need to platform your way up the slope. This part I found pretty confusing as the game doesn't give you any indications on what to do, but after playing for around 10 minutes I finally figured out what to do. With Commander Cody you need to jump, and in midair you have to shoot with your blaster, and this will hit the explosive, and at that point the fight will continue. So a little bit confusing, but after a while you should get the hang of things. From here the fight is pretty much the exact same. As long as you keep on using your ground pound, the fight should be a piece of cake. The level itself is pretty short and the fight is super easy when using a Jedi. The reason being is obviously the ground pound is such an overpowered ability in the Complete Saga. It basically makes every boss really cheese. So overall, this is a very short level that puts you straight into the action and wastes no time getting into the actual boss. So that pretty much wraps up the first level here. Let's move straight into the next game, which is going to be LEGO Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. So moving on to our second game today, this will be LEGO Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. This game is a little different than previous LEGO games, with it having 3 main villains throughout the game. These include Grievous, Asajj Ventress, and lastly Count Dooku. Now each time you complete a level for a specific character, the game will progress you through that character's missions, which each of them have only 6, meaning that the game has a solid 18 missions. The Grievous levels involve numerous Grievous fights. Some are shorter than others, so today we will be assessing the 4th Grievous battle, or the Grievous Intrigue mission. The level itself has 2 playable characters, with Obi-Wan and Anakin being separated on the ship. Obi-Wan is up against Grievous, and the fight is placed in a small corridor, with the fighting area being quite small and narrow. To damage Grievous, you will need to throw crates with the force at him. At that point, you will stagger Grievous for a brief amount of time, which you can then actually damage Grievous with your lightsaber. Each time you damage Grievous's hearts, which he only has 4, you will need to deal with the Magna Guards. The Magna Guards are pretty easy to defeat. With a few lightsaber hits, you should be easily able to get through these enemies. When you deplete Grievous's hearts, you will need to make a run for it, as Grievous will start to move down the hallway. The next stage of this boss requires you needing to use crates again to throw at Grievous. This time, instead of using your lightsaber, you will need to use the force to throw Grievous at the wall. This will deplete his health, allowing you to progress through the level, and with that you can just escape Grievous, which at this point the next part of the level will start, with a fighting section and a flight section. This section of the fight is super simple. You will need to switch characters and attack Grievous from behind. Repeat this 4 times and you will have defeated General Grievous in LEGO Star Wars: The Clone Wars. For our third game, this will be the Skywalker Saga's General Grievous boss fight. This fight has 4 stages. With each stage, you will notice Grievous will lose a lightsaber. Grievous himself isn't an insanely hard boss. With each time you take a heart away from Grievous, he will have a blade lock sequence, and when you complete this, he will lose a lightsaber. Next thing you will need to do is platform your way toward Grievous. The level itself utilizes the Skywalker Saga's mechanics, with the Jedis being able to wall run and use the saber wall climb. Commander Cody is also used in the level, with there being hero terminals which can only be activated by Commander Cody. Each time you take away Grievous's heart, he will change the way he attacks. So from 4 lightsabers, he will go to 1 lightsaber, which each time you do this, his attack patterns will change. This in turn makes the player also needing to adapt to the combat of Grievous. So in turn, each time you do take away Grievous's lightsaber, you will need to adapt with his new lightsaber attacks. The fight itself is pretty long, and this definitely is one of the best boss fights out of the Skywalker saga. The level itself is really fun and the level design is super top tier. I also like the accuracy to the movies and how it actually feels like you are taking on Grievous. So definitely one of my favorite boss fights in the Skywalker saga, and this is due to many reasons. One is the fight and the other is the amazing level design. So this is one of my favorite levels, and let's get into the rankings of these levels. With all 3 of the boss fights levels explained, we will now rank these bosses from worst to best. Each of these levels will be ranked on the boss itself and the level design surrounding the level. So with that, the third spot on the list will be the complete Saga's Grievous battle. With the level being very basic and short, it really rushes the boss, and especially with the ground pound ability being so overpowered, it makes Grievous look really easy to defeat. The level isn't bad necessarily, it's just my least favorite Grievous boss fight. Next will be LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars. With the levels having multiple Grievous fights, I chose what in my eyes is the best level of the bunch. With Grievous now being more fleshed out, his attacks are very fast and surprising, which can catch the player off guard. The multiple stages of the fight also is really cool to see. With that, the best Grievous battle in my opinion is definitely the Skywalker Saga's iteration. With the level focusing on Grievous and the different attack patterns he has, it is in my eyes the closest to how Grievous is in the movies in my opinion. I also really like how the level removes a saber from Grievous each time you damage him, which is a really cool mechanic, and it really does add to the flow of the level, making it, in my opinion, is the best iteration of the bunch. For those that are still watching, thank you guys super much. I really do appreciate the recent support the channel has been getting. It's just been absolutely amazing. Quick thing, if you guys do have any other suggestions for perhaps future videos or future things we should go over with this series, perhaps do some more level comparisons, well, leave it down below in the comments and I will check them out. But with that, smash like if you have enjoyed, and until next time, take it easy and goodbye.